All right. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Tuesday Night Live. What's up? We already got a bunch of people here. Everyone's talking about the snow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's crazy here. Oh, yeah. I'm with you. The snow is just, it's just depressing. Honestly, it's April. It's the end of April. But, all right, guys. Thanks for joining Tuesday Night Live. We will run the intro. But yeah, we'll be back with, this is another listener supported show. So this is all about you guys and where you want to take it. We go where you want to go. So you guys ask the questions, make the comments. We can talk about anything you want, running, whatever you want. Doesn't have to be running. Could be anything. But yeah, we'll roll the intro. We'll be right back. All right, let's see who's here. CK Hiker, what's up? Happy Tuesday, everyone. Kelly Canas, hello from Fargo. Glad to be back. And Kelly, shout out. Thank you. Just saw you're a new member of the channel, so thank you so much for joining. Platts 33, hey everyone, dropping in from snowy Illinois. This is crazy, guys. Happy Tuesday from San Francisco. Sarah O. Gypsy Rose. LOL, snow, Wisconsin here. Yes. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Justin B, howdy from Florida. Hopefully it's not snowing in Florida. Hopefully you are nice and warm. Eduardo Sanchez, hello from Chula Vista. Matthew DeLucas here. Happy Wednesday morning from Canberra, Australia. Wonderful autumn weather here. Wow. Yeah, Robert Brooks better not. Nope. Nope. I already got that one. Aaron Townsend, 83, Victoria, Texas. What's up? Ultra Running Adventures. How's everyone? Just did 6 miles easy here in San Diego. That's awesome. Wish I was in San Diego right now. Honestly, the snow has just been so, I didn't believe it until it started happening. I saw the weather reports and everything over the last couple days, and it was just it was oh, we're probably gonna get some flurries or whatever. But no, it's snow, covered. There's probably 2 inches outside my house right now, and it's just, oh my gosh, it's awful. We're supposed to be past this. We're supposed to be in warm spring weather. I know March. Is weird in the Midwest. You never know what to expect in March. April, usually you can count on it being semi-warm, for at least for the most part. But Sarah O says, I'm really loving the new intro, Ryan. Looks amazing. The logo. Thanks. It's awesome. Justin B says, first question, what are you drinking? This is a Walmart brand blackberry sparkling water. We go the good stuff here. So yeah, I don't really drink much. I like bourbon. I like a good IPA, but I don't drink very often. So, Matthew DeLuca says, New Balance Fuel Cell Rebel V2 are legit. Are New Balance sending you a pair? No, I do not know anyone at New Balance. So if anybody's watching, go ahead, contact me. I have a pair on pre-order from Running Warehouse. So we'll see. I'll get them at the same time as everyone else. So hopefully soon, though. I think they're supposed, is it May? Is May the release? I don't know. I'm not positive on that. Yeah, that's going to be, I'm excited about that shoe though. I think it's going to be, obviously you can't always trust the hype, and that one is being hyped up a lot. And And I didn't try the original fuel cell, but we'll see. Like I'm excited to try. I like New Balance. Aaron Townsend, what's up, man? Yeah, says rocking the Ryan Clayton Shred, the last person standing race last weekend. Timed out at 72 miles, but had a blast. That is awesome. Yeah, so Aaron got a shirt, tagged me on Instagram on it, and he's doing a last person standing race, which is where you do loops and you get an hour to complete like a 4.123 something mile loop. And then it's just, you keep going as many hours as you can go. So congrats on that. 72 miles is awesome. James is here checking in from Southern New Jersey. That's awesome. Brett is here. Greetings all from Texas Hill Country. Yeah, awesome. Good to see you, Brett. Thanks for joining. Carlos is here from San Francisco Bay Area. Why couldn't I say that? It's awesome. Rebel V2 must have been released in Europe and Australia earlier. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Some like Nikes do that too sometimes. Yeah, sometimes they release in other countries before the US, or sometimes US before other countries. Not really sure why. Could be distribution, could be a lot of things. Could be actually like marketing, like legit reasons why, maybe. Justin says, haven't checked Strava, but what's your weekly vert up to now? So my vert, so that's kind of been like, what I've been up to recently is just going up and down hills and up on my treadmill. So this past week, it might, like, my Strava might look interesting, if someone wasn't really like digging into it, which is fine. Like on the surface, it might look like the last couple weeks I've been, like slacking off a little bit because the miles aren't as high as they were a month or two ago. Cause the last 2 weeks I've done just, I've hit 50 miles. But I was building back up so I had a 50K race at the end of March, and then I took about a week to kind of recover, but then also at the same time I got sick. So it's kind of like 2 weeks that were kind of just like a mess, where I was just doing what needed to be done. I was recovering from a really hard 50K effort, got sick, and was trying to get better. And then I had like 1 week where I was kind of getting back up into it. So I hit 50 miles, like 17,000 feet of vert or something like that. And then this past week I did 50 miles again, but 21,000 feet of vert, and had a really, really good run on Saturday where it was actually really kind of a rough day. And like I wanted to have video done so I could post it like tomorrow morning, but it's not done yet. Just cause stuff's happening like at home, like, people are sick. And so I've been having to, like, I haven't had as much time as I, thought I was going to have over the last couple of days to edit. But we'll see. Yeah. So Saturday morning I go to my like tried and true, like this place that I love. It's got like 10 miles of trails, and I can get pretty easily 200 to 250 feet of vert per mile just following the path. And then also I can like just stop and do repeats and get a whole lot more vert. But I go there and there's a sign, the gate's closed, and there's a sign on the gate, which says this park is closed for 2 weeks because last year people were hunting mushrooms and didn't stay on the trails, and I guess caused a whole lot of what they said was damage to the natural environment or something, which I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, so last year people caused a problem, And so now it's closed for 2 weeks this year. And it's literally the 2 weeks that I have left of training before my taper. So I was really thrown off. Like I was just kind of like, what am I supposed to do? Like I thought about, cause I mean, it's not really like a gate that keeps people out. It's just like a gate more for like, I don't know, show. I mean, you can just walk around it. But I thought about just saying, well, what if I just like go in and like get my run done and whatever, but I didn't, I respected the park and the rules. And even though I thought it was silly, I just got back in the car and I left. And so I just started driving. I was like, where am I going to go now? I was like, literally like, this is crunch time. I've got 2 weeks left of training for Cruel Jewel and my park is closed because of some idiots last year that ruined some stuff. And so now they've closed the park for mushroom season, whatever. I don't even pay attention to that. I don't even know anything about mushroom season, but apparently it started just now. So I thought, you know what? Okay, I'm going to adjust. Like this is exactly like what happens in an ultra. Something goes wrong and you need to like adjust your plans, adjust your expectations, and you need to move forward and you just need to keep going. So that's what I did. I decided that I was going to go, instead of trying to go to a place where I could get miles and vert, because that doesn't really exist unless I drive like 2 hours south, I was going to just go to this hill that I know is 100 feet tall and really steep, and I was just going to do repeats basically until I pass out. And so I go there, and it's like this like really popular park. So there's people everywhere. There's like nowhere to park. But I find a place and I just start going and I do repeats, and I was there for like 4.5 hours or something and got 7,000 feet of vert on one hill. Yeah, that was like, I don't know. I think I outlasted 2 birthday parties and some like, I don't know. There was also a party there that they had a stereo and they were just playing like 2 or 3 songs from The Lion King over and over and over again. And I didn't really mind it because like those are good songs, but it was, it was hilarious. And then the next day, Sunday, so I only got 10 miles on Saturday, but I got 7,000 feet of vert and I was out for 4.5 hours. So I thought that was a success. And then Sunday, I just got on the treadmill and I did 5,000 more feet on Sunday. And I think that was like maybe 7 miles or something, 6 or 7 miles on the treadmill, but a couple hours. So was working hard both days though, really pushing myself. So I thought, like as far as miles go, I was only, I only got 50 miles last week, but I got 21,000 feet of vert and my time on feet was pretty good too. It was okay. So, yeah. So that's how training's been going the last couple of days. Let's see. Let's catch up on some questions and comments. Whatever questions you guys have, we'll go through them tonight. What's up? John Truelove is here. Merry Christmas from Terre Haute. Oh wait, no. Yeah. It's seriously like, I told my kids, I was like, I kind of feel like singing Christmas songs right now, but no, it's April. What's up? Ultra Dad is here. Evening from Ohio. Adam Tice is here from Brisbane, Australia. Awesome. Let's see. JC Runs says, I know you don't do road races that much, but what plated shoe do you have on mind? So I've got a couple plated shoes. So Asics sent me this one, and this is an absolutely incredible shoe. This is the Asics Metaspeed Sky, and it's a pretty high stack height, but it's got a carbon fiber plate from the heel to the toe, and so it's like super stiff. Like I can't even bend it. And I'm not faking it. Like this is an incredibly stiff shoe. But yeah, awesome. This is an awesome shoe. So this is what I would recommend. It's not out yet. It comes out soon. But they have another one. This is the Magic Speed, and this is a little bit more affordable. and it's more of like a daily trainer, but it has a plate in it that goes from the toe about to back here, like 3/4 length. So this is a really good one too. But yeah, there are a couple plated shoes out there that are good. I know Hoka has one. Tried it yet though. I mean, like North Face has a trail carbon plate shoe. Obviously Nike's got a bunch. Yeah, so I think, like, honestly, I didn't really know what to think about carbon plate shoes until I tried them, and oh my gosh, it makes a huge, huge difference. So yeah, that's what I have. So I would recommend that. I mean, it's the Metaspeed Sky is amazing. Yeah, James says my New Balance 1080 V10s have been great. Debating another pair of the V11s. Yeah, I haven't tried those. I do want to try them though. Adam says just about to test out my new Peg 37s. Thanks for the review a while back. Yeah, that's a good shoe. I've got that right back there too. Sarah O says, have you got much negative feedback for your review on the Mach 4? I really appreciate the honest review. No, actually, I mean, there's a couple like negative comments, but not really as much as I thought. I kind of thought that, I mean, I wasn't like worried about anything. I mean, and I also I didn't really consider it a negative review because it's a good shoe. It was just hyped a lot. And I don't really know if Hoka is responsible for that. That's the weird thing, is that I was kind of thinking about it after the fact, like after I posted it. And I mean, like Hoka, like whatever, like they need to promote their shoe. They need to sell their shoe. I think the weird thing was just like how hyped it was by everyone on social media. And I mean, it's a good shoe. Like there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, it wasn't everything that I thought it was going to be. Like, and I think that, I just think that people just kind of like went crazy with the hype on it. So, but no, as far as me, like, I haven't got any negative feedback. Like, Hoka hasn't said anything to me because honestly, it wasn't a negative review. Like, it's a good shoe. It's just like, I think it's more of an easy day shoe, more of like a up to 10 miles sort of thing. Super light though. I mean, that's like the one thing about it is that if you really enjoy light shoes and you like some of those like proprioceptive things, like you don't like the slap back of the pavement and you kind of like the new heel that Hoka's going for, it's going to be an amazing shoe for you. So what's up? Super chat. Make the best of what's around. Awesome. Let's see. Where's that comment? Happy 420. Here's some CBD money for you. Cool. Thanks. Yeah. So I do use CBD. Not every day, but anytime that I do feel like I need some extra like recovery or need to sleep a little better, Hemp Daddies is the brand that I use. So, let's see who else is here. Shannon's here. Happy Tuesday. Greetings from St. Louis, Missouri. So Robert Brooks says, glutton for punishment much? Yeah. Can you feel the hills tonight? Yep. That would have been really funny if I would have started singing that out loud while they were listening to Lion King. Yeah, I think like, I don't know. You get to a point where like, I mean, you're training, there's different levels of training. Like if I lived out in some place right next to some mountains, you know, I could get that type of vert, in the same amount of miles and whatever. And I could go to a lot of cool places and see a lot of cool things. But the one thing about doing it in Indiana or the Midwest or something is that, like you don't have that push or that drive or like that beauty to go out and seek. Like you do just kind of have to go find a steep hill and just do repeats. or for me, I could drive a couple hours and get to a pretty decent trail system, and a couple places in southern Indiana that are really good. But for me, it's just I don't have that in my backyard, so I get the added benefit of the mental toughness training. At least that's what I'm telling myself. But I think that does really help, and I noticed that a lot, especially a couple of years ago when I was training for Grindstone and Run Rabbit Run. When I would go to these places and just do hill repeats, it was just like bored out of my absolute mind. So on Saturday when I went to this one hill, I did it 75 times, just up and down, and it was mentally, I didn't listen to headphones. I didn't even take my GoPro on a lot of it, so I didn't even have something to talk to. I was just in my mind going up and down these hills, this one hill, and I do think there is some benefit to that. I don't like doing it, but I do think that just like any sort of physical training that you do, there's also this mental side that you can train that will help in the long run and hopefully will help. In the middle of the night at Cruel Jewel, there's long stretches in 100 milers that are just not fun. And hopefully that'll help during that time. I'll also have John to be kicking my butt up and down these hills, so that'll be good. Let's see. Blurbing iffy. We'll go with that. Blurbing iffy says, hello from Denver, Colorado. Great to hear other parts of the country are enjoying some April snow. Yeah, I heard that Colorado got dumped on a couple of days ago or weeks ago or something. Kelly Canas says, coming from an ultra background, how is the fit of the Hokas? Are you having to go with the wide options? I've been in ultras for a while now. Yeah, that's funny. I actually haven't tried any of the Hoka wide options. The regular versions have been tight, but they've been fine for me. Honestly, I didn't even really think about that. I didn't realize that they had wide options in a lot of their models. I thought they were just kind of had certain ones that were. But yeah, it is kind of tight. Right in the midfoot, kind of right where the metatarsals are. It gets kind of tight in there. But hasn't been a problem for me. Yeah, Shannon says 4.5 hours on one hill. If that isn't mental toughness, I don't know what is. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm banking on. I'm banking on the mental toughness part of it. Sorry guys, what the heck? Why'd my laptop just do a max volume notification? Sorry. Let's see. James says, when you're looking at ultras to run, do you ever consider how many unique miles the course has? Ooh, good question. I have this weird mental block about running in circles, even if those are 10-mile circles. Yeah. So I did, early on, and sometimes when I'm just looking at courses in general, yeah, if it's a small looped course, there's a little bit less motivation, I guess, on my part to sign up for that type of a race. When I was looking at No Business was just that to me, the single 100-mile loop is my favorite option. Because, that may be that and point to point, but point to point has some logistical things that you have to nail down. But for me, the single loop was really, really cool. Just parking your car, going up to the start line, and knowing that, okay, tomorrow sometime, I got to make it back here on my own 2 feet. That was really cool. And then I've done an out and back. Grindstone was just one out and back, 50 miles each way. And then I have done quite a few looped courses. The shortest looped course I ever done was the Hallucination 100, which was 16.67 miles long. And that was, it honestly wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. As far as the repeat side of it, there were some road sections that did get super annoying because you hit them like, it was kind of like a figure eight. And right in the middle of the figure eight, there's like a couple roads that you have to run up and down to get to the rest of it. And so you ended up running on these roads like, I don't know, like 15 times or something, 18 times, something like that, just to finish the course, because you were on it like two or three times per loop. There was like road sections, and there was 6 loops. So yeah, that does get, if there's a part of the course or a part of the loop that's really annoying, that could be bad. But for me, like at this point, I've kind of tried everything except a point to point. And I do prefer the courses where you don't have to repeat anything, because that is really fun. But on the other side, there are benefits to repeating parts, because, you know, like the first loop, you're like seeing everything for the first time. And then the second loop, you know, kind of how to anticipate certain things. And then if there's 2 or 3, 4 loops, you can kind of pace yourself better. You can get ready for the tough parts, or, you know, make sure you move quick through the easy parts. So I think there's pros and cons to everything. I think you should try it all. But I do hear what you're saying about the mental block of running in circles. It's not, when you're looking at it on a map, it doesn't look that fun. But when you're in the middle of it, it honestly wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. All right. For Ultra Running Adventures says, for 100K races, would you recommend training to include a 50K race, or 24 or 28 miles is far enough? If yes, how close or far away from the actual 100K should you run a 50K? Yeah, I think running a 50K in prep for a 100K would be a really great idea. 50K, you can, if you're training for a 100K, you should be able to make your way through a 50K and not have too much damage done to yourself. You should be able to recover from that in like a week or 2. So I would say put the 50K out like maybe somewhere 5 or 6 weeks out from your 100K. And then just go out there and, depending on your experience, put out like if it's your first 100K, maybe do the 50K real easy. Just try and get through the day. Just make sure you're really practicing your gear, your nutrition, and your hydration. The miles should be not an issue. But yeah, your gear, make sure your pack, if you're going to be using poles, definitely practice with poles, shoes, clothes, all that sort of stuff. And then nutrition, just make sure that you're kind of like mimicking what you're going to try to do in the 100K. And then that'll be a really big benefit. I think so. Gypsy Rose says, I know this may not be in your realm, but I'm having an abdominal surgery and I'm used to running 4 to 6 hours a day and don't track miles. Whoa. You're used to running 4 to 6 hours a day. Don't track miles. What would you recommend for tips on starting up again after? Oh man, if you're running 4 to 6 hours a day, you're way more experienced than me. So I don't think I can give you advice, but I would say talk to your doctor and get advice from him or her as far as tips on starting back up again. But definitely, no matter what they say, I would recommend starting slow. Like, don't jump into anything, especially if you've had a long time off. But yeah. Joel Walter says, I tried the Mach 4 shoes because of all the hype, and they just don't work for me because the heel collar is too high near my ankle. I decided not to buy them. Yeah, the heel collar is a little bit... I did notice that too. Didn't mention it didn't fit in the review, but I did notice that too, kind of on the sides. Like it's just a little bit higher. Christy Wiley's here. Hey, from Pennsylvania. What's up? Yeah, James says most training plans do have you do a tune-up race a few weeks before your A race. Definitely. You want it to be, like, in my opinion, and I think probably most coaches would probably tell you to do this, is make sure it's, so your taper is probably going to be about 2 weeks. Could be 3 weeks, depending on how quickly you can recover and be ready for a race. So you got that there. And then you want 2 or 3 more weeks before that for some extra, kind of like your last final hard training, your really specific race training. I guess just to say hard training might be the wrong way to describe it. It should be very specific. But you should be putting out a lot of effort as well. So somewhere 5 to 6 weeks, I would say, is kind of like perfect. For me personally, what really works well for me is to do an ultra 4 weeks out, because that way I can kind of continue, as long as I stay healthy, I can kind of continue with that into the last 2 weeks of my really specific training and then start tapering there. But that didn't work out this year for Cruel Jewel, just because the timing of races and all that. But yeah, we are 3.5 weeks out now. So I've got this coming weekend, which will be kind of like my final long days, which is kind of it's not ideal actually, because I have plans that cannot be moved on Saturday, like in the middle of the day. So I'm going to have to probably make that like a 2 a day, twice, like 2 runs on that day, do something early in the morning and then something like later in the evening. And so on one hand, like it might actually be good because, I'll get some miles in the morning, and then have my plans like in the midday, and then when I'm probably really tired and ready to just not do anything, I'll need to go out and do another run. So depending on how things go, like this weekend, I don't know. Like it's just things come up and things happen, you know. So as far as training goes, I'm just gonna be like patching it together this weekend. But it should be my last hard weekend, because then next week on Thursday, I get my second COVID vaccine. And so I'll probably be like MIA during that weekend, recovering from that. And then at that point, we're 2 weeks out. So I'm going to start tapering, and I'm going so this is my thinking. I'm going to taper real hard. And that's not being lazy, but just making sure that, at this point, once we get past this weekend and a couple more days into next week, like I will have done everything that I could. What's up, Justin? New super chat. That's awesome. Let's see. What'd you say? Would you say the same for 150 tune-up? Yes, I would definitely say the same. And that's what I've done the last 4 years is right before my A race of the year, 4 weeks out, I'll do a 50 miler, either a race or self-supported. So definitely go for it. Thank you, Justin. Awesome. Oh yeah, I was talking about tapering and tapering hard. Because so what I want to do is, like, after I get through these next couple days this weekend, I will have done everything within my reach to train for this race. And so I want to try to taper like really well and just make sure that I'm fully recovered, that I've absorbed all that training. And so I'm probably going to do less during this 2-week taper than I have done in the past, because especially like No Business, I was looking back at my training for that, and I was also, so there was kind of two things going on. I probably did a little bit too much, but I was also holding on to the idea of this run streak that I had. And I was thinking, I know it sounds stupid now, but the day that I ran No Business, like that was 297 days running in a row. And I was like, so I was really close to a year. And I was thinking, like if I can get through No Business and the next day just go out for like run 1 mile, like around the parking lot of my hotel. Like, and it sounds so dumb now, honestly. But I was thinking, like, that was on my mind, like continuing a run streak. And so I probably didn't taper as well as I could have, because I wanted to keep this streak going. And so even the day before No Business, I went for a run, which is just like, I mean, it kept my legs loose, which is good. Like, I do recommend going for like a shakeout run, but maybe only like half a mile or a mile or something, like the day before a race. Just get it loose, just get your legs moving, get the blood flowing. But I think I did like 3 or 4 miles. Maybe it was like, I don't know, maybe it was like 3. But yeah, so I probably didn't taper as well as I could have for No Business. So I'm going to try and taper a little bit better this year, which means pulling back a lot and taking days off. Like maybe the week of Cruel Jewel, maybe I'll only do 2 or 3 runs, and then just really make sure that I'm resting and sleeping well, eating well. So who knows? Maybe it won't make a difference, but this is going to be the hardest race I've ever tried. So you need to do everything possible to make sure that happens. Robert Brooks says, Grindstone or No Business in the fall? Yeah. Are you asking for yourself or for me? I'm not planning on doing either of those this fall. But I would definitely recommend both of them for you. I think No Business is in October, and I think Grindstone had to get moved to September. So do both. Grindstone's a lot harder. No Business is a really good 100-miler. Like, it's deceivingly hard. It's got only like 15,000 feet of gain advertised. My watch had 13.5. I think my friend Russell House, I think his had like 13.5 also. But they claim there's some like GPS areas that are dead spots. So maybe, who knows? But it's deceivingly hard because of the footing and how many water crossings there are. There's a lot of rocks, but there's also a lot of runnable trail. It's a really good 100-miler. Grindstone is just more of like, it's just difficult for difficult sake. It's like the trails are just like, they're just rocky, long climbs. It's a really hard race. Platts 33 says, how awesome are the Clifton 8s? I like them a lot. And I think I have maybe like 35 or 40 miles on them so far. So I'll be putting a review together soon. Definitely in the next week or 2, probably. I think I can get it done in a week or 2. But yeah, the Clifton 8s they're good. I do like them. Keith says, your logo is going to look great on a hat. I'm watching the store for that one. Yeah, I'm trying hard to get a hat in the store. It's difficult though, because of the design. So Teespring, I might actually have to, I'm still waiting, but I might actually have to figure something else out. Like maybe a different store for just the hat, or move everything to a different store. I don't know exactly. Because Teespring can't, what they're telling me is that they don't print, like screen print on hats. They only embroider. And so I'm having to get my logo approved to be embroidered, and that's just taking forever. So if they approve it, great. If they don't, I'll have to figure something else out. I'll have to look at where some other people get their hats made, maybe. But yeah, definitely that'll be coming soon one way or another. Don't worry. Dallin Ricks is here. What's up from Lubbock, Texas? I have a friend that lives in Lubbock. All right. Brad says, hey, Ryan, did my first 50K this weekend. Your videos have really inspired me to keep up the great work. Thanks. Awesome, Brad. Congrats on your 50K. That's awesome. Matthew says, got my second vaccine shot today. No ill effects yet, but I'm nervous to see how tomorrow goes. Yeah, that's kind of, that's happened to the people that I know that have had it. The first day is like not so bad. And then the second day they wake up and they can't get out of bed. So good luck tomorrow, Matthew. Hopefully you are not, hopefully it doesn't hit you that hard. All right. Valiant Adventures, howdy from Salt Lake City. Have you ever done a multi-day stage race? I'm training for my first Grand to Grand Ultra, 7 days, 170 miles. Would love to hear your thoughts on stage racing. Yeah, I've never done one, but I do want to. The main thing about that, that kind of deters me a little bit from like actually pursuing one is mainly how long they are. I have 2 little kids, and so like planning out trips, like it's hard enough to get out for a 100-miler, especially one that I have to travel to. Like, so for Cruel Jewel, it's going to be like a 5-day trip. I don't remember exactly. And that's only just 100-miler. But a stage race, like that's a big commitment. So that's kind of one thing that I'm just, waiting until they get older to do something like that. And then also usually they cost more too. So, but I would love to. I mean, I've watched a couple documentaries on them, and obviously been out to 3 different 200-milers, and those are not stage races, but they kind of feel like they are. And some people kind of treat them like stage races too, which is fine. It's one way to get through it. But yeah, that would be really, really cool. Especially, what is it? What's that documentary? There's one about a race in the desert. Is it Marathon des Sables? Is that one a stage race? I can't remember. But yeah, I watched a documentary about one that's through a desert, and I don't know if I would want to do a desert one, but, there's a bunch of them, that look really cool. Another one that was in like, it was like Southwest, United States somewhere. That one looked really cool too. Wonder if it was Grand to Grand. Where's that? Yeah, a bunch of people saying Grand to Grand looks interesting. Let me look it up. Good luck. That seems really cool. So 7 days and 170 miles. That seems pretty cool. Like, I mean, that'll be hard. That's not like, I mean, that's not that easy. What would that be, like 35 miles a day or something like that? No, 25 miles a day, something like that. Yeah. That'd be pretty, I mean, that's a challenge. That's a big challenge. So good luck with that. That sounds really cool. Ultra Running Adventure says, hey, Ryan, wanted you to know that I got pumped up after last week's live show and put my name on the wait list for Cuyamaca 100K, which will be a Western States qualifier. Nice. That's awesome. Cool. Yeah, get those 100K qualifiers for Western States while you can, because I don't know how long that'll last. I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of people at that. And I don't know. I mean, it's all up to the Western States board, but it's kind of interesting that still to this day, there are 100Ks that are qualifiers for Western States. I mean, even if they're super hard, it's still interesting. But that's just what the board wants to do. I think it is really cool, though, because it allows some people that can't run a 100-miler yet, or don't have the timing down right, or scheduling, whatever, still gets them eligible to get in the lottery. But at this point, the lottery is getting so big that I think they need to thin out the race qualifying, the qualifying race qualifiers list. It's getting so big. I think they should still make sure that it's regionally appropriate, that people from all over the world can qualify, or all different parts of the U.S., parts of different countries, you know. But there's some states that in the U.S. that have like, I don't know, tons of qualifiers. But they can thin that out a little bit. We'll see what happens with now that you don't have to qualify every year. You can take time off. We'll see what that does to the applicants every year, because I know there's a lot of people that apply that really do not want to get in that year. Like maybe there's something going on that summer, like they're planning a family trip, or there's a wedding, or something's going on, and they just know that there's a very low chance that they're going to get in, but they know that they want to eventually get in. And so there's a lot of people that apply for the lottery and don't even really want to run it that year. So hopefully this new system weeds out a lot of those applicants, and we can get some better odds for people that actually do want to run it. Seatown fan says, what's your favorite road running shoe right now? So just for like daily miles right now, I'm really liking the Clifton 8 from Hoka. So I'll leave it at that. Brad McDonald says, planning on doing a 50-mile in Columbia, South Carolina in a few weeks. Nice. Felt like I had another 18 in the legs. Wow. Cool. Awesome. Playing catch up. Any update on you getting the Speedgo EVO for race day? No. My person is sending me a pair, but I don't have a tracking number or anything. I know that I'm getting them though. So they could show up any day. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to try those out. I'm liking the Nike Wild Horse 7. I didn't really think that those would be like a contender for a 100-miler, because I know a lot of people wear them, and they're like, I've seen like a lot of like over the years, the Wild Horse line has been a really popular shoe, but I don't think it's a super popular 100-miler shoe. But this, like the Wild Horse 7, Nike React foam, the outsole super grippy, like it's a really good shoe, and it's surprising me how much I like it. It's kind of got like a gator built into it. The only thing is though, it is a hotter shoe, and that concerns me. And it doesn't drain water super well. 'Cause it rained the first day I wore them. It rained for like 2 hours during my run, and I could tell that they were just having issues draining the water. So we'll see. As of right now, if Cruel Jewel was tomorrow, I would start in the Wild Horse 7. And I would take, what else would I take? Whenever the speed goats get here, I'd take those, and I'd take the torrents just as backup. Maybe an old pair of Olympus. I'd probably take an old pair of Olympus just for like a super backup, because I know I can run in those. But yeah, that's what I would do if it was tomorrow. Brian Furnez says, what's your preferred ultra running watch and why? So right now, my preferred watch is just what I have is the Coros Vertix. That's the one that I know can get me through a 100-miler on one battery charge. So that's what I would use. I really do like the Polar Grit a lot. I like the Polar Vantage V2 a lot. The Vantage V2 is like aimed more at road running, but it's exactly the same watch as the Grit, which is their trail running watch. It's just a different body, but it's like lighter. So I don't know. I like it, but the battery probably won't get you through a full 100-miler. Like maybe. I mean, if you can do a 100-miler in like 20 hours, it'll probably get you through. But if you're getting close to that 24 to 30 hour mark, I wouldn't bet on that battery. But yeah, Coros Vertix is what I have. I know that Garmin is sending me the Enduro also, but I haven't heard anything in weeks. But that's kind of how it goes with Garmin. They told me I'd have it before Cruel Jewel 100. So maybe I'll get that in the next like 2 or 3 weeks. They actually said absolutely I would have it before then. But so we'll see. If that shows up, I'll probably use that because it's like 15 grams lighter than the Coros Vertix and the battery will last longer. Plus it's Garmin. So I like trust I trust the R&D a little bit better on Garmin. But yeah, so right now, I mean, I use the Coros Vertix, don't love it, but I use it. And it's never failed on me. But yeah. So there you go, Brian. That's my thoughts. Austin says, I know Cruel Jewel's right around the corner. Have you put any thought into 2022 100-mile race calendar? No, I haven't, honestly. That's the truth. I haven't thought about it at all. I'm still in 2021, man. Yeah, I have Cruel Jewel in 3.5 weeks. And then already on the calendar for October is the Indiana Trail 100. And if things go well, I'll be really excited. If I really hope that my training can continue out of Cruel Jewel into the summer, into the fall, and I really hope I can stay healthy because I'm so excited I can finally run the Indiana Trail 100 this year. I've been wanting to do that race for like 4 years, but it just never like happens at the right time or it gets canceled. So yeah, I am really excited about that one. I'm looking for possibly maybe a late summer 100, but we'll see. We'll see how things shake out. But no, I haven't thought about anything for next year. And that's the honest truth. I really haven't even thought about it. JC Run says, the desert race in the Sahara is Marathon des Sables. Yeah, heard that's really hard. Yeah, I have to. I listened to a podcast about some guy that like literally almost died. He had to hide in some building that he found because he got lost in the desert and stumbled upon this building, and he thought it was a mirage. And he got up to it and it was real. So he went inside and he slept in it for like 2 days or something. And then finally a helicopter found him. It's crazy. Grand to Grand, Valiant Adventure says Grand to Grand starts in North Rim Grand Canyon, ends at Grand Staircase, Utah. Whoa. Thanks for the feedback. Yeah, that's really cool. That sounds awesome. Austin Parker says, any Air Viper races that interest you? Silverton, Alpine, Kendall Mountains, or Tushers? Yeah, actually, Tushers does. I haven't looked into it too much. I think it would be really fun. Is the Mogian Monster an Air Viper race? I don't think so. I think that's somebody else. But that was one that I was considering for this year. But won't be doing it. Yeah, their desert race was Desert Javelin 100. That one looks fun too. Even though it's like a little bit flatter of a race, I think it just looks like it's a blast. Austin says, I know Cruel Jewel is a ton of incline descent. How do you balance speed work with your training blocks? Focus on incline primarily. Yeah. So all my speed work is done, and that was done like earlier on in the season. So the way I set up my season was like in 4-week blocks, which is like kind of, and I can adjust them like if I'm feeling one way or another. But yeah, like, so farther out from your race, you want to be doing the things that are less like your race. And then the closer you get to the race, you want to be doing things that are more like your race. So right now I'm so close to my race that I'm really focusing on incline descent. I'm really focusing on hiking. And then that's really it. Like long days of that, because that's what I'm going to be doing during this race. 6 months or 4 or 5 months ago, 6 months ago, I was doing more of that, like kind of like speed work. January, February, I was doing like VO2 max stuff. And then kind of like in March was kind of like transition. Did a really hard 50K in March, focusing on that kind of like that race zone 3, zone 4, which is probably like I'm probably not going to be touching any of that during Cruel Jewel, during a 100 miler. But that was kind of like where that was. And so that was the transition that, far out from your race, you're doing a lot of things that are going to be working on the different energy systems that aren't as specific to your race. But you want to be well-rounded by the time you get there. And you want to have hit everything during your season of training. But yeah, as you get closer to your race, you get more specific to your race. Brett says, Mogian is Air Viper. Nice. I ran the 105K this past fall, and I'm registered for the 100 this year. Awesome. Yeah, that looks like a really cool race. And it's also a Hard Rock qualifier. So I know that's got plenty of vert up and down. Some of the videos that Jamil's done on Mogian look really cool. Yeah, kind of like that. Kind of like alpine, but also hot, sort of like desert areas. Not desert, but like, yeah, it looks like a really, really cool, like ecosystem, like just environment, cool area of the country. But yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to start wrapping it up soon. Yeah. Thank you guys for joining. This has been a good one. Thanks to everybody for the super chats. That's been really, really kind. Really just, it blows me away when stuff like that happens. Also, if you want to become a member of the channel, there's a button right down below. That's just a great way to support me, what I'm doing here. We also have merch. I actually did just get some merch, but it's in the wash now. I was thinking about maybe wearing one of the shirts tonight, but I'm gonna wash them first. But yeah, so there's merch and like t-shirts, sweatshirts, stickers. So yeah, if you want to check out some of that, all those links are also right below. You should be able to see little pictures of each of them, so you can kind of check them out. But yeah, cool. Thank you guys so much for joining. I don't think there's any questions that I really missed recently. So if you do have questions, you can make a comment on this video after the video is over. Oh, what's up, Graham Angus? How's it going? Super chat from Graham. Thanks, Ryan. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Graham. Let's see. We just got Joel. Joel showed up. Here's a question. Considering signing up for the Pinhoti 100 in November, but there's a 70-person waiting list. Whoa, that's a really popular race. There's always a waiting list for that one. From your previous experience with waitlists, do you think there would be a realistic chance of getting in? So this is like, I would say in a typical year, 70th on the waiting list, I would say that's pretty unlikely. But I have no idea with this year because race signups were insane. And especially the really popular races just went so fast. So, I mean, personally, if I wanted to run it, I would just sign up and get on the wait list and then just kind of see what happens. And then if a month out, you're still like maybe 30 or 40 people deep, I would contact the race director and just ask what's going on and just say, hey, just thought I'd check in and see, like, do you anticipate the wait list being moved? Because sometimes, like, race directors, like, they control that whole thing. And sometimes they'll do big chunks at a time. Last year for No Business, I signed up and I was like 27th on the wait list, and then very slowly went down to like 20. And then about 2 weeks out, I went down to like number 5. Like, so he let in like 15 people overnight. And then like the next day I was in. And so it's kind of like, I don't know, like maybe just like reach out to the race director and see like what their thought is. Cause sometimes maybe they'll let 10 spots open up before they do anything to the wait list. Who knows? But yeah, this is a weird year. So there's really no way to predict anything, but Pinhoti is supposedly really cool. I know some people that have done it and they say it's awesome. So yeah, I would sign up and just see what happens. But yeah. All right. Thanks for joining, Joel, and thank everyone else for joining. I am really signing off now. So, yeah, take care. I'll have a video up hopefully tomorrow, about my weekend of running and kind of like summarizing, maybe in like shorter form, like how my training's going and what it looks like for the next couple of weeks. And then, yeah, it's crunch time. Race is coming up. I need to start doing a lot of homework, about this race. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for joining. See you again next week. Same time, same place. And, yeah, let me know how things are going for you. If you're signing up for races, if you're getting back into it. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.